Good afternoon, everyone. This is Professor Uhuru. Now that class, you've made it to the first week. Congratulations. Now the second week. First, I want to tell you guys, number one, never panic. I'm always here for you. Number two, we're going to go over the syllabus just a little bit to explain a little thing that obviously wasn't clear. I've got a lot of texts and calls this past week, which I do not mind at all. Because as I told you guys on the syllabus, the number one way to contact me is by text or calling me. My number is 770-374-4619. If you haven't locked it in, you probably need to lock it in now. Now again, as I'm going to tell you guys, once again, as I always say, this is African American Studies, but this is Black Excellence, the best of Black Excellence in African American Studies. So at the very first top, you guys have to start reading. When I say read the syllabus if you haven't read it, because a lot of questions I'm getting are on the syllabus. At the very top of the syllabus, it says, as a class, we are Black Excellence, and we will exemplify Black Excellence in our work this semester. Black Excellence is not a color, but a state of being derived from thousands of years of community. Black Excellence, as we exemplified in African civilization far before the modern era. Okay? Now, what I'm saying, as a class, we are not individuals. We are Black Excellence as a class. I will repeat, you guys. Every quiz, every test, everything will have, who are we as a class? And your answer is, we are Black Excellence. Understand that. This class is totally different than any class that you've taken before. As I said, every other subject in college, in school, in high school, or whatever, has been interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary is between. It means in between or inside. Transdisciplinary, this is a transdisciplinary study, you guys. Transdisciplinary. A transdisciplinary lens. The word trans means beyond, outside. Transdisciplinary means beyond the realm of beyond the realm of European conceptualization. And I say European conceptualization because everything that we're taught in reference to European patriarchy. We are always the object. And they're the subject. But now, I'm teaching classes, we are the subject, and our reality is the subject now, and therefore, we do not go by the scientific method. We do not go by positivism. Why? Because spirituality is a real thing in African studies, is a real thing, as I told you in the last video, you guys. Spirituality is a real thing. That's what separates us. Spirituality is real. Now, number two. Now, the way this course will be taught, it will be taught in reference to Nguzo Saba. Nguzo Saba. Nguzo Saba are, which is on the first page of the syllabus, it says, Nguzo Saba is the 7 principles of African heritage. Listen to me. The 7 principles of African heritage. Now, the concept of Kwanzaa, which means first fruit. Okay. Kwanzaa uses the 7 principles of African heritage as the different days during Kwanzaa. So there's also the 7 days of Kwanzaa, but for our purposes in this class, for the syllabus, for the quizzes, for the tests, Nguzo Saba is the 7 principles of African heritage, you guys. Okay. Now, next, please follow all your directions. If you don't follow direction, you will get points off your work. Just take your time, slow down. And I want to know, in your questions I ask you, tell me how you think. Don't tell me what you think I want to hear. There's no correct right. The right answer is the way you feel and how you think. This class is totally different because it's subjective to how you think and how you feel. Allow the answers to the questions, okay? Please, you guys, help me out now. You got to read the syllabus now. Now, this is the book you need. You'll need this, and it's on the syllabus, The African American Studies, Transdisciplinary Approaches and Implications. Now, Atlanta Metropolitan State College Bookstore will not have this book till about another week, a week and a half. But you're welcome to get the book off of Amazon.com, cheaptextbooks.com, anything. But you'll see, as long as the ISBN number is the same, I don't care what version. Make sure it's this ISBN number that is on your syllabus, everyone. Okay. Now, we have this thing, a creative project. Now, we're going to talk about the creative project a little bit because the creative project, I don't have any things up for the creative project yet. Because we're not dealing with the creative project until probably start dealing with it around the 6th, 7th week. We're going to really get into it. But for you to start thinking about it. Each person is responsible for creating any form of medium, a skit, play, song, poem, any creative thing that reflects collective resistance against oppression. Collective resistance is resistance as a group against any kind of oppressive factor. Okay, anything. It could be, and you think about it. You can go to the past. You can use something currently. You can use you can use videos to reflect it. You could break down something. You could anything at all, and you'll see as this course goes on, as you're learning, you'll understand it can be a historical reenactment. It can be anything that represents resistance of some type of racial oppression. But you'll have to use the 7 principles of Nguzo Saba to facilitate it, which that's really easy. And where you find the 7 principles of Nguzo Saba under content. Now look, you guys, if you everything that you look for under content. All right, you push content, and then after you press content, you will have you'll have all this listings. It starts with AS online syllabus, the AS online syllabus quiz, homework 1. All your homework will be positioned on here too. But you can also go to assessments. Now assessments and assignments is where you turn your homework in. Okay? You got your syllabus quiz, and next week, homework 1 will be due. Homework 1 is, if I click on homework 1, it'll tell you. And you click it on content, it says, it's 5 questions, okay? It says each answer should be a minimum of 3 sentences except the last question. Now what you want to do is read pages 4 to 10 in the Intro to African American Studies text, okay? And this is not due till next Sunday. So you got a whole other 7 days, but you need the book for this because you have to read pages 4 to 10. And you have to define African American Studies and enumerate its major educational and social objectives from the reading, okay? You'll have to do this from the reading, okay? Which pages 4 through 10, okay? Like I said, I'm sorry, like I said, you guys, you have to do this from the reading, okay? Make sure you do it from the reading. And then what is the origin of African American identity? Okay, you guys, that's the second question. Make sure that your questions are answered in reference to the reading. Now, third question, how are the cultural dimensions of African Americans reflected, class? Okay, you have to read the book to understand pages 4 through 10. Don't Google, don't come with something that's out the side of your neck because it's going to be wrong, you guys. Each question counts as 20 points. Now, the purpose of African American studies is liberation. But what is education? How is it used according to the text? Now, I'm going to give you help with that. Education. There's one goal and one goal only for education. And that is for liberation. If your education is not liberating you, if your education is not freeing you, then throw it in the ash cans of history. It's not anything. Education that's the only purpose of education. Question number 5. The holistic approach of African American studies in this text is deeply influenced by the life of who? Who? Now you'll get that from page. Now that one you don't have to answer 3 sentences because that's one sentence. The way you answer that question, the holistic approach to African American studies in this text is deeply influenced by bam, bam, bam. And you can even copy the first part of it and just put that name on it. But every question has to be answered in complete sentences the way we talk. Okay? Now, that's for homework 1, you guys. Now, the next thing we're going to, again, let's go back a little bit because I want to make sure we're very clear on this, okay? Now, there's no post this week, you guys. You don't have to worry about no post this week. You can relax, breathe, and work on reading those 6 pages is all I want. First 2 weeks is going to be, pretty, not too hard. Now, you have a lot of stuff on your side, right? Nguzo Saba mix. Now, what I did with this, if you guys listen to this right here, this was an example of one of our creative projects. If you download Nguzo, which is under content, Nguzo Saba mix, only thing I got this on there to let y'all listen to it, you download it, and you listen to it. Okay, now next. Martin Delany and the 1850 Fugitive Slave Laws. Now what this is just a text you read. I want you to, in this course sometime, we're going to be talking about Martin Delany, okay, which was a hell of a freedom fighter. He was also the father of what they call black nationalism. Real deep what he said to these white folks. The miseducated, well, I'm going to read it to you guys. I got a second. Let me tell you how bad this brother is, okay. This brother's so bad. During enslavement, all right, so there was 2 laws called fugitive slave laws, right? He was responsible for the fugitive slave law of 1850. Now, the fugitive slave law was saying that it doesn't make no difference if you're free. It doesn't make no difference if you've made it to freedom or if you were born free or whatever. If a white man comes and says that no, you were a slave, you have no rights. And the only thing they have to have proof of, they just have to have another white person to stand up and say, okay, another white person to sign a petition or affidavit saying, yeah, this was their slave or this was he owned this particular property. Because again, the enslaved people of this world were property. Okay? Now, let me tell you what he did. He addressed the mayor of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it was a town hall meeting type deal. And this man, I'm gonna read you what he said. He said, he said this now in reference now. Now remember now, we were enslaved all around the country now, even up north. The North were very, very oppressive. They didn't like us either. But this is what this black man during enslavement said. He had 13 children. He was a doctor. He was all type of stuff. He was a straight G, you guys. I want you to read about Martin Delany. But he says, Honorable Mayor, whatever ideas of liberty I may have been received from reading the lives of your revolutionary fathers. I have therein learned that a man has a right to defend his castle with his life, even unto the taking of life. Sir, my house is my castle, and in that castle are none but my wife and my children, as free as the angels of heaven, and whose liberty is as sacred as the pillars of God. Now, Mr. Mayor, let me tell you something. Now, if any man approaches that house, my house, in search of a slave, I care not who he may be, whether he be constable, whether he be the sheriff, whether he be the magistrate or even the judge of the Supreme Court. Nay, let it be he who sanctioned this act to become law. I don't care if it's President Millard Fillmore surrounded by his cabinet as his bodyguard, with the Declaration of Independence waving above his head as his banner and the Constitution of his country upon his breast as his shield. If that man crosses the threshold of my door, and I do not lay him a lifeless corpse at his feet, if I don't kill his ass, if I don't lay him a lifeless corpse at my feet, I hope the grave may refuse my body a resting place, and righteous heaven my spirit a home. Oh no, he cannot enter this house, and we both live. No, hell no. But this man done told the mayor, y'all, to everybody, I'm gonna kill you, or you gonna have to kill me. But I promise you, he says, please, God, don't even allow my body to be in the graveyard and be at rest if I don't take somebody's life. For trying to come and take one of mine, that's certified gangster. Nothing happened to that brother after doing that, okay? I just had to read that to y'all. I just had to. So now, let's go back. I digress sometimes. I get passionate, you guys, because I love this work. You know, this is real because it's unfortunate that the only history that we're taught in our school system, the only culture is that we were victims. We were so much more than victims and slaves. Man, we were victors, and you guys are going to learn some of this, you know. But you got to understand the resistance and the victory and the resilience of resistance. You know, if we didn't have anything to fight for, what would be the use of living? You got to have something to fight for. Not saying I really like this fight though. Now, next we have the Miseducation of the Negro PDF. This is the whole book, The Miseducation of the Negro, by Carter G. Woodson, by the father of Black history. Now, next we have Up From Slavery, which these are whole books. These are just extra resources for you guys, and you'll have assignments probably out of them. Up From Slavery is the autobiography of Booker T. Washington. If you don't know who Booker T. Washington is, you need to find out. He's a gangster. He was known as a accommodationist. Now, there's another book called Soul of Black Folks, and this is on here. This is under content. This is by William Edgar Burghardt Du Bois, W.B. Du Bois, which is a great famous sociologist through the late 19th and 20th century. Now, him and Booker T were at odds a lot, you know, over basically how to save black people. Now, first week of class right here under is the introduction video. And then see, everything's not in order because I put stuff up randomly. Now, this is going to be the second week of class video right here. And this is B, the Creative Project Rubric. Oh, there we go. The Creative Project Rubric. So if you want to know a little bit more about the Creative Project, we'll pull the Creative Project Rubric up, you guys. Now, the Creative Project Rubric, it says, BE, Black Excellence Fall 2019 AAS Creative Project Rubric and Critique Assessment Rubric. Now it shows you exactly what I'm looking for, exactly how you're going to be graded, exactly the strengths, exactly. And again, the creative project is not due to the end of the semester. So we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about it now. I just want to give you guys a more distinct overview of what we're going to be doing the rest of the semester, excuse me, and everything. So, and there's some more, and I'm gonna add some more modules, some other stuff on here as we go by. What I'm doing, the reason the first 6 weeks is only up here, because I'm seeing basically how the class goes and how we do the first few weeks to see if I'm not giving enough work, if I'm giving enough work, or what have we. But please, you guys, it's very imperative that you do the work. Okay, you have to do the work, and you will get an A if you do the work. Bottom line. Now, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna click on assessments over here under assignments. Okay, under assignments, you have 2 assignments. You have the syllabus quiz, which is due midnight tonight, and we have 10 people that have turned it in out of 36 people. Okay, and it's early right now, but you still got about 12, 13 hours to do it. And remember now, understand this, class. If you are 1 day late on anything, if you're 1 to 3 days late, the highest score you will be able to get is a 90. Okay, anything after 3 days late, the highest score you'll be able to get is a 75, but you will always be able to complete and turn in assignments. But and make sure you understand the grading criteria for this class, which was everything's worth, which is on your syllabus. I'm not going to go over that again because it's on you guys' syllabus, okay? Now, a very, very important, always go to communication, okay? Done a discussion. So the first assignment is most things with discussions. And this week you have an assignment, and in the third week you're going to have discussions to post to, okay? Now it says syllabus review and introduction movie download from content. So I got it under there. So this is download the introduction movie. This was the introduction movie was the first one. This will be the second, whatever movie for the second week of class. Okay. Now it tells you must post and reply to at least 3 posts per week when we have discussion post up. Okay. This means at least 1 post and reply from each video present. So what is that? That's 6. That means 6 posts and replies when weekly posts are posted. A weekly grade will be given for discussion posts. Now, when I grade papers, you guys, I'm gonna see everybody who's done posts this week. I'm gonna count your posts up, and depending on how many posts, if you've done the amount of posts, you see easy 100. If you post like I've asked you to post, okay, all right. Now it says here you will need the text no later than 9:17. It says clearly right here, but actually it says 9:17, which 9:17 is Tuesday, but actually you will need the text. You will need the text so you can finish the assignment by Sunday, the second assignment by Sunday, okay, which is the 22nd, okay? Now, you can also, I think you can rent the text online. Pretty sure you can rent the text, you get it used or whatever, you know. And there may even be a Kindle version. I'm not sure if it is now. Now, okay. Now, you see this? Oh, you guys probably don't see the screen. I'm sorry. But if you read that whole part, then you have week 1. Week 1 test says, why do we need African American studies? The question and the answer. Now, under this, it says, watch this video from 1990. This video for discussion, copy and paste in your browser. So I have the link, http://youtube.com. You guys have to copy and paste this link in your browser and listen to and watch the video. This is of the Minister Farrakhan, okay? Good. We got a lot of posts. Good. Oh, you guys are posting. Oh Lord, you guys got down. You guys have been posting seriously on this thing. And then there's another video. If you keep going down, see, I'm not gonna leave you guys out there, right? There's another post that says, okay, we have no friends. It says listen to the first 12 minutes and 10 seconds of the video, right? That video was Dr. John Henry Clark. You can listen to more because it's deep. You know, I'm sure you guys left me a lot of good stuff on it. But the first question is, do you disagree with anything Dr. Clark is saying? And if you agree, then expound of any Dr. Clark's claims. Of course. Now, I haven't read it yet, but it's probably interesting what you guys said. And then the next question was the next post is, Dr. John Henry Clark said, nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. Now, he said this statement in reference to the Eurocentered male. Listen before you comment. Do you agree or disagree? Explain and ask questions, okay? Now, the next question says, the next thing that Dr. Clark says, He says, we let people redress something we invented, sell it back to us, and enslave us through it. Now I said, what does Dr. Clark mean by this? Okay, we have another question on that. Now we have a third video. See, and you guys don't have to answer every video, but I want to give you guys enough resources to see what you're interested in, so I want to give you a choice. You guys don't have to post on everything, but like I said, just give me 6 posts. 3 replies, 3 posts. Just pick. You can do more if you want to. I'm sure you're going to do more because I think this is very relevant to what's going on in our world community, in the community of the United States, and as far as black nationalism, as far as African American studies is concerned. Now, this is, I say, analyzing, dissecting message. The OJ story analysis, but basically, it said this is the OJ story by Jay-Z. It's real deep, as you guys know. I said discuss your favorite or one of your favorite messages in the OJ story. Teach us this message, what it means, and how that message can help move African American people forward to freedom, hopefully. And again, you got the 2 links right under here. You have the OJ story video, and you also have an OJ story analysis and critique. Okay, now we'll stop right there. Now, okay. Oh, you guys posted to the next week. Oh my gosh, I got a lot of posts. Well, I guess you guys don't worry. Okay, don't worry about them. Oh, you guys that can't see the next set of posts. Okay, I'm sorry. But anyway, those are for week 1. Okay. Now week 2, again, all you read is 4 to 10. We've talked about that. I'm not going to keep inundating you with too much stuff, you guys. We've already been on here for 21 minutes and 28 seconds. So anyway, I'm going to upload this video today on Sunday, 9/15. You guys, please watch this by 9/16 so you can kind of get a guide to your week this week. And you guys have a great week. Have a wonderful week. We're going to get into some stuff. I just don't want to get real deep into it yet because I want to see who's here, who's not going to be here, and all that good stuff. Thank you very much. My name is Professor Jihad Uhuru, and I'm out. Peace. Till next week.